fans, please welcome St. Charles FC and your Indy 11 as they appear for warm-up. Fans Bridgeport is honoring Lizzie Sexton, Jenna Chatterton, Grace Barr, Aaliyah Martin, Ella Rogers, Emma Johnson, Sam Newey, Addie Chester, Katie Soderstrom, Maisie Whitson, and Maddie Williams. Ladies, thank you. Indy 11 is ready for kickoff thanks to Community Health Network, the official sports medicine provider for the team. Community Health Network offers many convenient ways to access care. Your primary care physician, med check for urgent care, community clinics at Walgreens, improved tools in MyChart to connect with your provider, virtual appointments with primary, urgent, specialty, and behavioral health care. Community Health Network, exceptional care simply delivered. Learn more at ecommunity.com/getcare.
Welcome in once again to a weeknight matchup inside of Grand Park in the USL W League as Indy 11 hosts St. Charles FC in the Valley Division. Alongside Brad Hodder, I'm Ian Gilmore, happy to be with you on this Thursday night. We want to thank Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care simply delivered, as well as Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor for Indy 11 W League. This broadcast also brought to you by AES, accelerating the future of energy together. And CareSource, brought to you by CareSource, so much more than just health insurance. Brad, this is the second home game for the Indy 11 this season as they attempt to defend the USL W League Cup. We saw on Monday a 3-3 draw against Kings Hammer. What were your biggest takeaways from that?
You know, the toughest thing, you talk about defending the title, that is a tall order because you're on everybody's list. You got a bullseye on your back. So you take away from it the fact that the team is explosive. When you're looking at Indy 11, you saw some really good things, especially the second half start goal within the first 2 minutes. So you saw that. The concern you have is something that's very fixable, is that you give up 3 goals, which is, you know, I think maybe the first time in the history of the club that's happened. And then they're all on restarts. So now you've got some things that you've got to target and work on in training.
As, in addition to those 3, the 1 goal they gave up to Louisville in the first game as well, off a corner. So 4 goals conceded, 4 set pieces. Definitely a place to look to improve. St. Charles comes in here. The last time they were here, it wasn't pretty. They only had 9 players. They had no subs, and they lost 16-0. But the time that they were here before that, they beat Indy 11 2-1. Still only the second ever loss for the girls in blue in their history. So this is one where, as much as on paper it might look like it's going to go one way, you do never know.
Well, you take a look at it, too. From that loss, it created a different Indy 11 team.
Yeah.
They just rolled from that point on. And every now and then, you need to stumble so that you can get refocused. And maybe that was what happened on Monday night here. Maybe that, you know, for a team of this caliber, that is considered a stumble. And so maybe that is the thing that wakes them up and has them roll the rest of this season.
St. Charles has 2 losses already this season. They both came against Lexington SC, 4-0 each time, but there seemed to be improvement in that second game. They've only traveled 14 players tonight, Brad, so not too much in terms of things off the bench. What do you think they need to do to stay in this as long as they can and try to snatch one?
Well, I think when you look at them having had success in this building where nobody else has had success, there is something that they can key on as far as confidence and motivation and saying, you know, we can do this. We've done it, and some of these players are the same, so they've got that immediate confidence and recollection. For Indy, it's got to be, how do you respond? How do you bounce back after this moment? So it'll be really interesting to see how both of them come out. I would anticipate one is going to be on the front foot, and one is going to try and navigate as much time as they can to keep this close.
This is the 4th game in a very, very busy week for the club. The boys in blue and girls in blue both contributing to a 5-game week. This is the 4th of 5 so far. No losses, 2 wins for the men. A draw again for the women on Monday. The win for the men last night came in the U.S. Open Cup, a 3-0 win over Detroit City. Obviously, busy is the main word to describe this week, Brad, but on your side of things, how's it been so far?
It's been a blast. I mean, you look at the training and stuff is all part of it, and it's fun in its own, level, but it's the games. It's the games that we all live and die for. And the fact that you got 5 games in a week, and right now you've rolled through the first 3 of them undefeated, that makes it for a fun week, because it could be a miserable week if these first 3 went the wrong way.
Waiting for the teams to walk out tonight here. There was a pre-game ceremony for 10 players in checkers tonight to commemorate the championship, the W League championship from last year. Many of them in attendance tonight. Obviously, it took more than 10 players to get it done last year, and anyone familiar with Indy 11 remembers playing at Michael A. Carroll Stadium for the final and the doubleheader with the men on July 22nd, and that is where the girls in blue are looking to get back to this year as they come out. Ella Rogers will once again wear the armband as she has for the last couple of years. We'll get into the starting lineups after the players walk out here tonight. There's some news in terms of a different look than what we've seen in the first couple of games for the Indy 11. But again, their only loss in this building so far has come to the team that they're playing against tonight. St. Charles doing that last year mid-season, a 2-1 win for the team coming from St. Charles near St. Louis. As the teams walk out, the 3rd game of the W League for each of them so far this year. 1 win, 1 draw for Indy 11, 2 losses. The girls in red tonight, St. Charles, again, both their losses coming against Lexington, 1 home, 1 away. As the fans continue to file in here tonight. And as they walk out and get ready for the national anthem, we will take a timeout and step aside. When we come back, starting lineups, kickoff on this Thursday night in the USL W League. You're watching the USL W League on the ISC Sports Network.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son. And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half-hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
We helped Becky with her resume, arranged daycare for her son, and even set up a ride to the interview that helped her get the job. CareSource is so much more than health insurance.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Stand by me.
Welcome back to Grand Park on this Thursday evening. Indy 11 are hosting St. Charles. Each of them, this is their 3rd game in the USL W League. Let's get to the starting lineups. Well, if Monday was any indication of Well, I guess if today is any indication of Paul Dolinsky's intentions, we're seeing them. There are 7 changes made to the starting lineups compared to what he started on Monday in that 3-3 draw against Kings Hammer. 8 players in this starting lineup, Brad, started the W League final last year.
Yeah, that speaks to the expectations of the club, is that, hey, a draw, not good enough. So we're going to give everybody an opportunity to prove that you can take us to where we need to be, and if you can't, you're going to step aside for a game.
For St. Charles, they're going to set up the same way they have in each of the first 2 games this season in a 4-5-1. Griffith will start in goal. Bichelle, Barcom, Malcolm, Watson across the back line. Gum and Imming will sit in the center of midfield. In front of them from left to right, Hollingshead, Jackson, Lammert, and Houston is the lone striker up top. Which position tonight, Brad, is the most important for St. Charles?
Well, I think Griffith is obviously going to be tested tonight, but then it's Houston. I would anticipate that they're going to be sitting in a low block most of the game and looking to relieve that pressure with the big ball up top. Can she create enough damage to have Indy pull some players back?
Taylor Imming will wear the armband for St. Charles. Ella Rogers will do so on the side of the girls in blue. Again, 8 players started the W League final that are in Indy 11 starting lineup tonight. Some of these names we haven't seen yet this season, but for anyone who has followed along with the girls in blue in the first 2 years, these are names that are familiar. The first 2 games this season have featured a lot of new names. But tonight, the return of Katie Soderstrom, Samantha Dewey, Aaliyah Martin, Jenna Chatterton, Maddie Williams, and Grace Barr. And in those names, you have the Valley Division Player of the Year, the final MVP, and 2 former all-league first-teamers in Katie Soderstrom and Maddie Williams. Brandon Kim, assistant coach for Indy 11, will tell you that Grace Barr was the Defender of the Year in the W League last year. By official title, she wasn't, but again, BK wanted to make sure after the final last year we all thought that she was. No Nora Jackamin tonight. She's scored off the bench in both the games so far, but she's not among the subs. Among the subs tonight, though, is Maren Weger in goal, Academy Products Emma Johnson and Laura Thompson, Natalie Mitchell, Olivia Smith, Brooke Otto, and Lauren Adam. Indy 11 will go left to right. St. Charles will go right to left, and they will kick off as well. In the red, the girls in blue, aptly wearing blue. Checkers on the shoulders, and for the second time inside Grand Park this season, we are underway for this USL W League matchup. Initial looks at formations tell you that it looks like Lizzie Sexton and Jenna Chatterton will be your fullbacks tonight. Aaliyah Martin and Grace Barr, right-footed and left-footed respectively. We'll play center back with Amelie Derry, who is on the ball now, sitting deep in midfield. Front 3 forming of Addie Chester, Maddie Williams, and Katie Soderstrom, with Ella Rogers and Sam Dewey in behind them. Game starting out, I think how a lot of people will expect it to go, with Indy 11 in possession and the girls in blue on the ball. Here's Grace Barr.
And you look at St. Charles, there's just going to be a lot of shifting east to west, trying to deny any through ball in.
How important is it that Indy 11 move it side to side quickly?
You have to move it, and you got to move it quickly, because the shifts that they're going to make when they're in the low block are 10 to 15-yard shifts. And if you don't get that ball moving quickly, those gaps that are going to evolve from the ball movement are going to disappear pretty quickly.
Just over a minute in, and Indy 11 have their first corner of the match. Sam Dewey over to take it. With her is Addie Chester, a recent transfer back to Ball State. Addie's a product of the Muncie area, so moving back home to play, I believe, the rest of her college ball. 5 players in the box for Sam Dewey's service. Towards the back post. Header from St. Charles first. Derry looks to track it down. And he'll go out for an Indy 11 throw-in. Here's Katie Soderstrom, who went to play professionally in Denmark last year. She is back home for her, looking to teach this fall and play soccer in the summer with the W League. Now Lizzie Sexton.
What an awesome experience that had to be. I'm a big fan of Denmark.
Yeah. Would you like to explain why?
My wife is Danish. My kids are half Danish. Spent some time over there. Just love the country, love the people, and certainly love the football over there.
Were you familiar with the team she was playing for?
No.
It was a unique one because I don't think many people can say that, they did things the way Katie did. She won the W League and then a few hours later hopped on a plane to begin that experience. So she was going to play professionally the night that she won the prominent pre-professional league in the United States. Here's Grace Barr with service. Aaliyah Martin is unmarked. The flag does go up on the near side, so nothing will count, and the ball drifts by the net anyway. Aaliyah Martin has played in the NWSL, is one of those players that is in the 18 for the first time this season. Ball played forward by Griffith, but it's intercepted early by Chester.
Great
So
pace.
want to use that speed to get down the line. And a corner once more.
Now here I liked on the last corner, you had 2 players for Indy out on the ball, and that pulled 2 defenders out of the middle, and then they peeled off of that, brought one of the attackers back into the 18, and those 2 defenders then wound up back inside the box. I love seeing the 2 out here because you do draw 2 players out, and when you pull back in, now you're bringing those defenders with you.
Same Dewey to serve once more. We've seen Indy 11 go short on corners this season. The first 2 served in. A punch by Griffith. It's not too convincing. Derry comes onto it on her weaker left foot. She tries to slide it through to Chester. Now here's Martin. Sexton pulls wide. She's got Maddie Williams to help her. Now Williams does have the ball. And St. Charles is able to get out. Here's Hollingshead. Work it through the middle. There is Derry doing her defensive duties. Chester plays through Williams. It's a 3-on-3 for Indy 11 moving forward into the box, and very well dealt with there by the St. Charles defenders.
Just a great touch from Addie Chester out to Maddie Williams. Might have liked to see Maddie take another touch, maybe let another blue jersey wind up in the 18 for the serve.
I'm curious, Brad, with sort of the veterans of this Indy 11 team that are playing tonight for the first time this season, those of them that have jobs and don't necessarily do this soccer thing, too full time anymore. How long does it take for them to knock the rust off? Do they need any time to do that?
Yes, you need a little bit of time to get the rust off, but I tell you where you make up for it. When you're actually having a day job and then you get to still do your passion,
Yes.
The energy and excitement about being able to play the game after being in an office or cubicle all day elevates your abilities.
Here's Maddie Williams, just offside. Once again, the flag does go up on this near side. These next 5 minutes of the first half presented by Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989.
Yeah, and a great step by Malcolm there in the last moment to put Williams offsides.
They will have to be sharp and on their game, that back line for St. Charles. Here comes Katie Soderstrom. Maddie Williams is in acres of space. Lizzie Sexton will go herself. Take a touch, or will that go out for a goal kick? It will go out for a goal kick. We also want to thank our friends at Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. First 6 minutes, and the ball has remained in St. Charles's defensive half and defensive third especially, but they've dealt with everything thrown their way so far. Sexton switches things to Grace Barr. Grace Barr played her college ball at Xavier University, as did a few of the players on the field right now for Indy 11. Ella Rogers did as well before she transferred to Arkansas this offseason. Here's one of Xavier's best all-time, Sam Dewey, switches it out wide to another Big East product in Katie Soderstrom. The header from Addie Chester just went a bit in the wrong direction. Derry has a hit from 25 yards. It's parried away. Chatterton makes her way to that one. 2 of the paciest fullbacks you're going to see in this league are playing tonight for Indy 11, and Jenna Chatterton and Lizzie Sexton. Sexton used it to her advantage on Monday night with, I don't know if it was officially credited as an assist, but she got the ball to Natalie Mitchell for the opener on Monday.
It's a great serve. She was so dynamic on the right side with Ella Rogers popping out and Sexton overlapping, just created so many opportunities in the first half.
Here is Sexton, laying it off to Katie Soderstrom. Make her way in the box. A cut back was near the feet of Maddie Williams. Sexton goes into that challenge, and it's out for a St. Charles throw.
See, some of
to throw it.
This would be a little bit tactical in some of these restarts, whether it's a goal kick like we just saw or a throw in here. You know, one of the things when you're in this scenario where you're playing a team with the pace, the energy, and the technical ability of Indy 11, it's how do we make this 90-minute game maybe a 15-minute game? Can we take a few seconds out on every dead ball, every restart?
Hollingshead is guarding Soderstrom as closely as she can. Here's Derry. Great ball in towards the back post. The header's there from Sam Dewey, but it's off the mark and a goal kick for St. Charles.
And here it is. Walk, get the ball, fix your socks, go slow. And it's a great strategy because if you can just shrink this game down into a manageable moment, you've got the ability to counter the experience and technical and tactical strength of Indy 11.
Rogers wins the header. There's that pace from Chester again. Already causing problems for the St. Charles defense, especially in that right back spot. Really nice move by Addie Chester. Doesn't beat the first defender though, but it is cleared out. This is Jenna Chatterton's first appearance since tearing her ACL in August at the University of Tennessee. She's gone through kind of long-term injuries before. Again here tonight, that ball launched forward. Katie Soderstrom, I'm not sure that'll count as a shot on goal, but into the keeper's arms nonetheless.
Yeah, I love the thought. You're looking just to have a little redirect into the space in front of Maddie Williams to see if she could run onto it.
Heaved over halfway by Griffith. And a really nice touch from St. Charles into her teammate. Now they'll go forward, but a whistle from the referee shuts things down. Sexton looking for the through ball to Maddie Williams. Her and Addie Chester just on a couple different pages there. Not too much air under that one from Griffith, and it'll send Indy 11 off right away. Katie Soderstrom near the corner, has a few players to aim for in the box. She goes back door, Maddie Williams just over her head, but Sam Dewey is able to get on the end of it. She'll play it back to Jenna Chatterton and recycle things. Here's Derry, product of Chelsea's academy, has made a couple appearances with the first team a few years ago. The ball into Soderstrom, just off her toe.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Derry was part of the Big East All-Freshman team in 2022, a Butler Bulldog, trying to connect with a former Butler Bulldog. They played 1 year together, her and Katie Soderstrom. Here's Lammert looking to track this one down. Chatterton does well to win a throw-in, though, on the far side. I want to thank our friends at Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989, proudly woman-owned.
Yeah, good quick double team from St. Charles, was able to win possession. Now here's one on the on this service with St. Charles throwing so many bodies forward, and you got the pace of Maddie Williams. If you're able to win this ball and then drive it into space, she's going to be able to collect it.
These are moments where I know you think, Brad, execution is going to be key tonight.
Absolutely, and really for both teams, you look at the number of opportunities that Indy is going to get inside the 18. They have to execute. You cannot let a team hang around. And then if you're St. Charles, it's the exact same thing. It's execution, but it's a different execution. You're going to be sitting in a low block. You're taking away opportunities. You're taking away space. And can you do it? Oh, my goodness, what a save.
Yeah, it was really good from Griffith to come out and shut down the space for Katie Soderstrom there.
So that's one of the fun things about this is you're going to have two very different styles on display tonight, and who's going to be able to execute their game plan better.
Simple and sweet tonight on the Keys to the Game, but they still are brought to you by your Central Indiana Ford dealers. Proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. These next 5 minutes brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. It's exceptional care, simply delivered. Jenna Chatterton looking for a delivery here into the box. Winning a corner instead. Will go out to that corner for the third time already tonight in the first 13 minutes.
Well, she's got her pace back.
Yeah, she looks all right. Have you, obviously in your days as a coach, I'm assuming you've come across players coming back from a second injury or however many down the line. Is it easier, tougher, doing it again?
Well, I think the first time you go through it, there's so many question marks. You know, can I get my pace back? You know, how is it going to be to stick my leg into traffic and have contact with it? And after you navigate it and you recognize that you can come back from one of these injuries, that second one, you hate it. You hate having to go through it again, but at least you know the mountains you're going to climb, the setbacks that you'll have, and the confidence that you can regain.
Here is Chatterton back to Grace Barr, and he went short on that corner kick that time. Sexton, the long ball over top, looking for Sam Dewey, but once again tonight, Griffith able to collect.
In a tall order for St. Charles, you're playing on the road. You've got 3 subs. Indy's returning champion, a lot of the returning players from last year, got a full bench. And as talented as Indy is, how do you navigate 90 minutes? Well, it's like any kind of a big task that you have to divide it into smaller parts. So if you take a look at this, instead of trying to beat Indy over 90 minutes, you have 18 5-minute matches. You just have to navigate 5-minute matches. Right now, they've navigated 3 of them. And you just tell your players, get through this 5 minutes. Get through this 5 minutes. Win the next 5 minutes.
Shot from distance, and Derry is there. The keeper spills it. No flag for offside, and Sam Dewey is right back to where she left off. She's got the first goal tonight for Indy 11.
And a great initial shot, great save. Just spilled it in a dangerous, dangerous area right at the top of the 6.
I think it was crucial. She got a touch of that shot. Looks like it was sneaking in. Sam Dewey does well to position herself in the right spot for a rebound.
Great players just have this tendency to know where that next play is going to be. And sometimes they think it, and sometimes it's just instinctual. You got these great players, and you know, for the men, Eamon Zayed was one of these players. Just sort of drifts and drifts and drifts, and doesn't look dangerous, but all of a sudden is standing in the right spot at the right moment.
The 2023 Valley Division Player of the Year back on the score sheet. She had 9 of them last year to go with 1 assist in just 9 games played. Dewey, who has played for Heerenveen in the Netherlands, Real Betis in Spain, bringing her talents back to Westfield, and the supporters are happy about that. Indy want more right away. Touch up front for Jackson. Derry is there once again tonight, as she's been in these first 17 minutes so often, to recover the ball for Indy. Sexton's touch gets away from her just a bit. Forward comes Imming. I think right now it looks St. Charles is struggling to find that outlet when they do get possession and find a player up top that can hold it up for them and give them a break defensively.
And that's where we're at in this moment is They just have to navigate this to keep it close, to give themselves a chance. And Indy has to go for that knockout. They've just got to make it into this point where St. Charles believes there's not a chance. And so you can't take your foot off the gas right now. You got to keep following up with opportunity after opportunity.
Maddie Williams almost with another one. That Sam Dewey goal was brought to you by CareSource. So much more than just health insurance. What you said for St. Charles still does remain, Brett, doesn't it? You want to manage. I mean, there's a lot of time till halftime, but try to manage and keep this game within reach.
5-minute games. You just lost that game 1-0, but the first 3 games were 0-0 on both sides. Next 5 minutes. Can you get the next 5 minutes? Can you keep this to a place where one mistake, one ball over the top, one player doing something incredible gives you the chance to equalize?
Here comes St. Charles forward for this for the first time. That's a really nice ball. Ashton Blair was right at the edge of her box, and she had to make sure she didn't come out with it still in her hands. That's a heads-up play from the keeper, who I think just touched it tonight for the first time. And
almost on cue. We were talking about mistakes or a ball over the top. That was a great ball served in, and it was almost an opportunity to slide behind the defender and pick it up before Blair's able to get a touch to it.
The keeper at Eastern Tennessee State University, 8 solo clean sheets last fall, conceded just 10 goals in 17 games. There was some games where she was splitting time in there. So far, she has played almost all of Indy's minutes in these first 3 games in goal. Chester showing off that pace once again. She's wrapped up from behind. The referee points to the spot. St. Charles defender just really got caught in a bad spot behind Addie Chester. Chester used her body really well there. It was Watson trying to catch up. There was a tug on the jersey, maybe a coming together of legs. Addie Chester was fouled, and she will step up to take it as well. Chester scored the second for Indy on Monday, right after the halftime break. I don't know if I've seen her take a penalty before. I'm sure she has at some point in her life. I don't remember her doing it for the girls in blue, though.
Creates so much with her pace.
Indy's number 10 on the stroke of 20 minutes to double Indy's lead against St. Charles. A no-doubter from Addie Chester.
What a strike.
Girls in blue up 2. She created it. She finishes it off. I do think she tried to give the ball away to someone else to take that, but Sam Dewey gave it right back to her, and Addie Chester continues her hot start to the USL W League campaign. That goal, again, brought to you by CareSource, so much more than just health insurance, and it is even more because it doubles the Indy 11 lead. And this is where, for St. Charles, you cannot let the floodgates open, because we saw it get ugly last year. And with 2 goals in quick succession in the first half, heads could go down. So important for St. Charles to keep them up and continue to press on, because we saw they've had a chance so far today, and they can create.
And this is a tough place for St. Charles right now, because you're looking at this, and 2-0 is still not an out-of-reach game. You still got the chance to pull one back. And, oh,
what a flick from Maddie Williams. And it just needed a better first touch from Chester. Here's Sam Dewey. They're not going to slow down.
Goodness, Maddie Williams. That is absolutely incredible. But you're at this place where a goal can kind of get your heartbeat back and get you back into this game. So you do want to chase it a little bit, but if you open up too much right now, it could become 3-0 in a second or 2.
And the thing is, with the players on the field for Indy 11 right now, it can come from anywhere. Maddie Williams has been more of a provider so far tonight, but she scored the opening goal in the W League final in 2023. 9 goals in 9 games to match Sam Dewey's tally. Finished with double digits in 2022, one behind Katie Soderstrom. Not only has she done it in the W League, Maddie Williams, but she's still Purdue's all-time leading goal scorer and leading assister from her time in West Lafayette from 2013 to 2017. Here's a rare touch back near the box for Grace Barr and Aaliyah Martin now. Ella Rogers with time and space to turn. Through ball towards Katie Soderstrom, and now Lizzie Sexton on it. Ball towards the back post, looking for Addie Chester. Header comes down. Maddie Williams. That is shouldered away from Ella Rogers. Now Williams on the turn with her left foot, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and that might have been better served, a ball on the ground across from Sexton, because you had runners all over the place, and that ball in the air becomes a little bit more of a 50-50 ball.
Want to thank our friends at Alpha Health and Wellness. They are Indy 11's official W League team chiropractor. Here's some time and space for Watson to move forward. Maybe a chance to redeem herself after giving away that penalty. She runs for about 40 yards with the ball at her feet. Chatterton is able to bring that down inside the box, head her back towards her. The Tennessee Volunteer.
There's a great turn in the middle of the field from Gum, and then a great ball driven over into the space on the left flank. It's taken a little bit of time, a little bit of pressure off the St. Charles back line.
Here he comes deep to get on the ball once more. These next 5 minutes brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor.
Love that ball. My goodness.
The talent that Indy 11 has had at center back the last couple years has been immense. They'll move it forward now, though. Here's Sam Dewey. Curl ball into the box. And I think it was just a little too far in front of Katie Soderstrom. She had to reach for it. And just not able to get the proper contact.
Okay, you said that the talent that Indy has had at the center back, right? Which position on the field would you not say that about?
I don't know.
None. They do a great job. Paulie, BK, Lisa, they do a great job of scouring the country for talent and bringing in some of the top players in the collegiate game.
Quickly taken corner from Indy towards the back post. Brought down, but there's no red shirts around it. Leah Martin looking for that run of Ella Rogers. What a ball that is. That is a very finely worked goal. You see the quality in the back, and the quality turns into a goal in front. Ella Rogers makes the run. Aaliyah Martin with an inch perfect ball to her. And the lead is 3.
Look, this is not a high back line. St. Charles is playing this well. There is very little space to play that ball, and she found it.
From the former Wolverine to the new Razorback. Ella Rogers with the 3rd goal for Indy 11. Again, presented to you by CareSource. So much more than just health insurance. St. Charles just out of your picture there, coming together and huddling. Again, Brad, we saw it was 16-0 last year, and there's clearly, more players on the field, but more quality on the field than there was that day for St. Charles. And again, as good as the players are for Indy 11 on the pitch right now, St. Charles, I'm sure, are telling themselves that, it's not good enough right now.
Right, and here's the decision that you have to make is, are we in this moment to try and be respectable and keep this a low-scoring match, or do we want to try and win it? And if we want to start winning it, we got to throw more bodies forward. We got to press a little bit higher up the field. That will expose the back line, but it will tell what the motivation is here in these last 60 minutes.
Houston does well to keep it away from first Grace Barr, secondly Ella Rogers. Cross is blocked out and it stays in bounds. And here come Indy 11 once more. It's a 5-on-4 if they go quickly. St. Charles starting to get numbers back. Ella Rogers looking for the big switch across the field. Well cut out there by Watson. Derry with a man on. She wasn't too aware of it, but she does well to win it back. Here comes St. Charles, though. Out wide to Lammert. She's only got Gum in front of her. Now Imming making her way into the box, but that one's cut out by Aaliyah Martin. And just for a minute, this one is getting back and forth. What a ball that is into Maddie Williams. The touch just let her down a little bit, but the chance still remains. Soderstrom on her left foot, and what a finish. Sneaking it past the keeper and inside the front post. That is the strike of someone who has played the game at the highest level for the last few years.
And you could see how well this was set up from Soderstrom and Williams. You got Maddie Williams sitting off her left shoulder, and what that does to Griffith in goal is she has to both respect the front post and that ball that could be tucked over the left shoulder and spent to Williams, so she's got to be able to cover both posts. So you caught her just a little bit in no man's land, and Soderstrom made her pay.
Maybe not wearing her recognizable number 9 tonight, Katie Soderstrom donning the 28, but that is still a striker's finish. That one, once again, brought to you by CareSource, so much more than just health insurance. Take this time to thank our friends at Sports Tech HQ. Indiana winning is in our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. The score is 4. There are still 16 plus minutes to go until halftime. I'm sure there are a lot of Indy 11 players that are now looking to get themselves on the score sheet. Great switch there by Grace Barr. Ball played into the path of Sexton. Sexton, I'm not sure if she meant to go herself. If she did, it was just over the bar and just over the hand of Griffith.
Great build-up, and I love playing Sexton in this space right there. Such pace, the ability to turn the corner, the ability to have the early serve, or to take and attack the post.
St. Charles looking to build out of the back. There's Imming on the ball. Back to Griffith. Griffith will look to go long, but she can't get it past Ella Rogers. Here's Imming.
Good ball.
Nice ball to break the lines, but a tackle put in well by Jenna Chatterton. Derry looking to go forward immediately. That ball initially dealt well with by Gum, but then she gives it away. Here's Dewey. Looking for Maddie Williams, back post. The header off the top of the crossbar and bounces over.
Two players that have played a lot of minutes together, because you could see as Sam Dewey was out here on the right flank, as she's looking, Maddie starts drifting back a little bit to give some space for that ball to be played in front of her.
They seem like they're always on just to save it. Do you remember the goal that Maddie Williams scored against San Francisco in the semifinal last year when there was just a little dink through by Sam Dewey?
I don't, but you've got kind of a mind like Rakestraw, I think, where you remember absolutely everything.
I'll
remember some big moments.
I couldn't tell you anything like about the 1970s and 80s.
That's a fair point.
Once we get about 20 years on from now, I'll tell you if I remember any of this.
I don't know that I'll be a part of that conversation.
Fingers crossed.
At that time.
Fingers crossed. Needless to say, the girls in blue are having a good time right now. 30 minutes in, they're up by 4.
And you like what you see right now from St. Charles is that they're not just tucking back behind the center line and saying we'll give you the back half. They're actually extending that line of confrontation and saying we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get up in here and grab some possession in the attacking half.
Hollingshead. Good tracking back by Lizzie Sexton. It seems like that's kind of happened as the goals have gone in, though, Brad. Like they've kind of come out a little bit more.
Well, you get a little bit more freedom when you recognize that, hey, one goal isn't going to decide this game right now. And so now we've got to stretch our lines a little bit just to see if we can generate something in the front half.
Sam Dewey was skying for that, but too tall for her. Here is Rogers. Really nice composure in the back there from Imming. Lammert will bring it away. All the way back to Ashton Blair.
And you know what I like about that play as a former keeper? So here's the situation. Grace Barr has the ball about 25 yards out. No pressure. She could turn and go up the field. But every now and then when you knock that ball back to your keeper, you keep them clicked into the game.
Sexton kicked that into her own head there. Either way, time for a throw-in. Jackson has been coming a little bit deeper to get on the ball. She'll play it all the way back to Griffith.
Nice ball.
Yeah, nice ball out to Michelle on the right-hand side. Maddie Williams tracking back. And the throw-in for St. Charles.
But the closing pace of Maddie Williams is impressive. She just covered 30 yards effortlessly, but so quickly.
Derry. Here's Martin. Closed down quickly by Jackson. The midfield recoveries for Indy 11 tonight have been swift anytime the ball has been given away.
That was great, because that was a 4-on-3. Ella Rogers recognized it, came back in, applied some back pressure, and won the ball.
Here's pressure, this time from Jackson. Down the line for Sam Dewey. This time
Great
going on the
ball.
ground, and Maddie Williams is there first. And that's one that I think she'll want back.
That is one that was a great build-up, and Griffith in goal did the job to make sure that Maddie Williams had to have a heavier touch than she wanted, and that's what forced this into a goal kick. So here is a save that doesn't get recorded as a save.
Dewey had gone in the air with her last few services. That one she decides to keep on the ground. It worked out a little bit better.
Hi, Audrey.
What a tackle put in there by Lammert. St. Charles looking to get numbers forward. Aiming on it now. Nice
flick.
little ball through to, I believe, Houston up top. We might have a number discrepancy between ours and theirs. I believe that it is Zoe Houston. Sexton once more bombing down the right-hand side. Watson doing well to catch up and keep up. The cutback, Soderstrom. That front post finish once more. This time with the right foot, and this time she goes high with it. But the result is the same. Another goal for the girls in blue.
Great finish. Lizzie Sexton attacks the ball, stops it, picks up her head, sees Soderstrom, one of the best finishers in the league, right off her left shoulder, lays it off to her.
The first player with 2 goals tonight. The brace brought to you by CareSource, so much more than just health insurance.
And you looked at that last opportunity from St. Charles, built a little bit of possession, got there, so they're in a 4-2-3-1, got the 1 and the 3 tucked in behind the 1, so had some bodies up there, but there was too big of a gap between the 2 and the 3, so that when Indy won the ball, there was a ton of space to attack off the dribble.
This portion of the match brought to you by AES, accelerating the future of energy together. Ella Rogers moving forward, a 1-2 with Dewey. Sure, we'll cycle back to Sexton.
What a ball.
Chester in the far side corner. 2 defenders coming to her. She somehow makes her way through. Looking for that cutback to try to get Soderstrom a hat trick in the first half. Derry wins it back. Tackle really well put in by Jackson.
That's unreal that Addie Chester was able to get out of that double team.
Go out for a St. Charles throw. St. Charles making their way forward. Here's Watson on the near side. She's gonna opt to go long. It's a nice weighted ball into the box. Brought down here. Attempt from far out is off target. Blair will collect. First shot she has faced tonight.
And you can see here in the last few minutes, St. Charles has had a little bit of possession up in their attacking third. And sometimes when the pressure of the game, the pressure of the game right now has changed from where it was 30 minutes ago. The pressure of the game is a lot different. You can take a few more chances going forward, send a few more bodies forward, and you're starting to see some success as they do that.
You got to enjoy your football too. And if you're just sat behind the ball, there's not going to be much of that, especially here tonight. Want to make sure we thank our friends at Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Dairy. Short to Martin. Soderstrom with room to turn, room to pick out a pass. She does to Maddie Williams. Griffith comes out. Again, she had to make Maddie Williams make a decision, and it's out for a goal kick.
What you're seeing Indy do a great job of is finding those little pockets. So as St. Charles is tucking back and trying to get their defensive shape, you've got Indy players, Ella Rogers, Soderstrom, that are just popping into these little bitty pockets just enough to receive the ball, and it comes in, squeezes the defense a bit more, and then pops out.
Williams putting pressure on the keeper. Away goes Barcom. Here she is once more. Into Jackson. Looking for Bichelle wide.
Right idea.
Not able to find her, though.
See there, you see Soderstrom popping right into that pocket. There's 4 or 5 players there. She's staying on one of the center backs, and then as soon as the defender picks her head up to look for an opportunity, Soderstrom runs into that gap.
What a nicely played possession that is. A corner won by Katie Soderstrom in for the girls in blue. And these next 5 minutes are brought to you by Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. So the center backs will make their way forward. Grace Barr, I think, will go over and find herself on the ball. Sam Dewey will go short as well as the BYB begins their chance.
Now look, this is one thing I like about this. You're bringing 2 players out, and that's brought 3 St. Charles players outside the 18. Just opens up more space inside the box.
Just for that.
Such an easier run for players. There's less traffic. That ball is served in there, and you don't have to worry about bodies. You could just be a ball hawk, find the ball, place it on frame.
Yeah, I think that was a clear runway for Maddie Williams. Saw it the whole way, able to get her forehead on it. And the 2022 All-League first teamer has opened her 24 campaign. So a goal for another Indy 11 striker tonight, and the lead is 6. That 6th goal presented by CareSource, so much more than health insurance. And regardless, Brad, you put the 2 teams on paper. This is the way that Paul Dolinsky wanted an answer. Obviously, they didn't lose on Monday, but drawing isn't even a very common occurrence for this club, so he got the response he wanted in this first half.
Right, giving up 3 goals, not common. At home opener, so all those things. But also the way it happened. You've got that restart there in just the last few minutes, so you leave with this absolutely bitter taste in your mouth. How you respond is important. Everybody's going to fall down. Every player's going to have a difficult moment. Every team is going to face adversity. But how do you respond to that? And you look at this response, and if you're Paul, you're BK, you're Lisa, you're saying, okay, this is it. We've got the energy, we've got the passion, we've got the fight that we expect.
Two 2v1 tackle won in the midfield by St. Charles.
Oh, I think
what a nice little nutmeg.
There is, but there was an opportunity to push that ball out to the right early before Indy could get more bodies back.
That shot caroms off of Chatterton, and Blair saves it from going out for a corner. Quickly plays to Martin and gets things restarted. Want to make sure we thank our friends at AES as well, accelerating the future of energy together.
And it's important as this ball moves across the back line, that you don't pop into the pocket too early, because then you'll bring a defender in. So wait until the defender picks their head up.
This could be a chance for St. Charles. Houston comes forward. Jackson off to her right. Just couldn't find the ball, I think. Was looking left and right for it and couldn't locate it.
Was not a bad thought, was not a bad ball.
Here could be a chance for St. Charles again. Ball into the box. Katie Soderstrom is tracking back and finds her feet on it. Here's Sexton. Derry and out wide to Dewey.
There's a couple things with that ball that goes out wide. There's two ways to handle that serve in. One, you win it on the back end. Two, the other way is you press it and deny the serve on the front end. And would love to see both of those things. You know, when you're looking at how you want to defend, I'd love to have both those options. I'd love to have enough pressure on the ball to deny the serve and enough bodies back that we can win it if they're able to break that press.
The forwards are still flying forward for Indy every time they get the ball. Soderstrom leaves for Sexton. 5 players in blue in the box waiting for service. Here it comes. Back door, Eddie Chester off the bar. That might have been exactly where the post connects with the bar in the top left. At the point where it's 6-0, you can't laugh about it, as Eddie Chester does. Layoff to Soderstrom. Cut back looking for Williams. Indy will do it again in the corner. Here's Williams. Now Sexton. Lots of room if she can switch it, and she does, to Grace Barr, and now Jenna Chatterton. Darian Barr put under pressure by Gum up front.
Well, they have a ball over the top to Dewey.
Dewey comes and checks shallow. Now Sexton. Now Williams. What a turn from Maddie Williams. The ball out wide. The service into the box. Katie Soderstrom at the back post just doesn't get it right. I'm not sure she totally expected it to get through to her. Martin comes again. Here's Sexton once more. Wide to Martin. Just a little bit too much on it for her. Into additional time now in the first half. Malcolm to Barcom. Well, once it became 1, it quickly became 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6 followed in quick succession. Indy 11 with a really strong response after drawing on Monday 6-0 at halftime against St. Charles FC. Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, 2 different game plans coming in here, 2 different objectives from this first half. Indy was able to check the boxes on their game plan. St. Charles did not.
We'll take a quick timeout and come back and talk to you throughout halftime on ISE Sports Network.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money, from rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Welcome back inside Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana, where Indy 11 have a 6-0 halftime lead against St. Charles FC. Brad Pauly brought the big guns back in tonight, and they did their job in that first half, grabbing 6 in the first 45 minutes.
You know, when you're St. Charles, you would love for the King's Hammer game not to turn out the way it did, because you do not want to come into this building and face an angry and focused Indy 11 squad.
We do want to take a second to tell you about a couple cool things that you should make sure you're checking out. The first is the Indy 11 app. You can take Indy 11 with you wherever you go if you download it from the App Store, or you get it on the Google Play Store. Also, you should definitely make sure you are listening every single Saturday to Soccer Saturday, hosted by Greg Rakestraw. Mandatory listening, in my opinion. It's presented by Indy 11, and you can join every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. He regularly talks to Paul Delinsky of the Indy 11 women's team, as well as Sean McCauley, the head coach of the Indy 11 men's team, and he always has very good guests, and no one does a radio show like Greg Rakestraw, especially in this city. Also, Penn Station, if you're ever hungry, lunch, dinner, Penn Station, it's all about good taste. And then lastly, the IMCU debit card. You can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. I think Zeke is on it. I'm not positive.
It's interesting that you opted to make listening to Greg Rakestraw mandatory.
Yes.
I think that's a bold move because here's the thing.
Only on radio.
But there's no escape. It's after an Indy 11 game, you're driving home and he's on the radio. You listen to the radio on Saturday, he's on the radio. You listen to anything in the month of May, he's on the radio. So bold that you made it mandatory to listen to Greg Rakestraw. However, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
You can't get away from it.
He's everywhere. I honestly think there's multiple. I bet he was triplets.
Oh.
And all three of them are broadcasters.
Or we're, talking about cloning. Some sort of cloning.
Could be cloning, yes.
You're familiar with Dolly, obviously.
I am familiar. Dolly is what? A sheep that was cloned, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Is there any inside info on cloning?
No, I've not taken a deep dive into the science of cloning. I've not gone down there. That seems very out of character for a soccer coach to be too deep into the weeds on cloning. I don't know that I'll ever have a purpose in my life to do it, although I can tell you, as a coach, there are players that I would love to clone. The DNA of players, you take a look at, and you look at the Indy 11 squad that you got right now, and you take a look at the players that were back from the championship. Boy, I tell you, if you take some DNA out of some of the players, and you can't clone them, oh my goodness.
I think Paulie and BK would be happy with that if they could do that. Kelly as well, the goalkeeper coach. Okay, we'll take another timeout. On the other side of this break, we'll have highlights from the first half, and there's a lot of them to show you. 6-0 Indy 11 at halftime. You're watching the USL W League on ISC Sports Network.
And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And We're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
Welcome back. The first half highlights. There are 6 goals to show you. Brad, the first one from Sam Dewey.
Yeah, it was a great strike. Griffith had to go down and make a save, made a good save, just left it there for Dewey. But you take a look at it too, and I actually thought when you look at a goalkeeper giving up 6 goals and a half, you think, okay, they didn't play well. I thought Griffith actually played exceptionally well. This game could have gotten so much worse had she not come quickly off her line and forced Indy into some bad shots or some bad touches.
Your pick of the bunch from the goals is which one? Putting you on the spot here. There was some
I think the one that sticks in my mind probably the most is the corner kick. I thought when Indy sent 2 players short and pulled 3 players out of the box for St. Charles, it opened up some lanes that you just don't want to open up when you've got a finisher the caliber of Maddie Williams.
You saw it there. That was the 6th one that came in the 40th minute. So to recap those for you, Sam Dewey in the 16th minute, Addie Chester with a penalty kick in the 20th, Ella Rogers in the 25th, Katie Soderstrom in both the 28th minute and the 35th, and Maddie Williams to cap off the half in the 40th minute. You see on the TV there, Pacers and Celtics getting set for game 2. It was a heartbreaker for the Pacers in game 1. I think up 3 with 10 seconds to go in an inbound. A loss in overtime. It will take a lot from St. Charles to tie things up in the second half. It does look like for both teams, though, there are players warming up. St. Charles keeper currently warming up. And for Indy 11, I currently see Brooke Otto, Olivia Smith, Lauren Adam. And I don't know if I can see that far to the other side of the field, but they're warming up. Lauren Thompson and Emma Johnson are both on the bench tonight, Academy products for the girls in blue. If things continue the way they do, I think we will see some legs rested in the second half from Indy 11. They don't play again until next Wednesday, so they do have 6 days off in between. When the games come thick and fast like they do in the W League, it's nice to have 6 days off at some points. We will send it to break one more time before we come back for the last bit of halftime. Indy 11 up by 6 on ISC Sports Network.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son. And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
We helped Becky with her resume, arranged daycare for her son, and even set up a ride to the interview that helped her get the job. CareSource is so much more than health insurance.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Access in healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 5.24% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Welcome back to Grand Park, the home of the Indy 11 W League side, as the players emerge for the second half. We will count you down to the second half kickoff. Few men's players are in the house tonight, as they were on Monday evening. I believe I spotted Sean McCauley on Monday. We're looking for him as well. Let's talk a little bit of Indy 11 men's, Brad. It's been a good week so far for them. A win.
Explosive week.
Yeah, a 4-1 win against Hartford on Saturday, followed up last night by a massive 3-0 win in the U.S. Open Cup round of 16 against Detroit City. Things are just humming right now. That's what, 6 wins in a row?
It's 8 unbeaten, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, 6 in a row.
You know, when you look at that, there's so much confidence, and it's just crazy because it's the same game and same team, but that mental part of it, once you get on a roll like that, you want weeks like this where you got game, because you can just start putting them in the bank, whether it's Open Cup or putting points in towards the top of the table. You just want games.
Yeah, it was a weird one too, and the opposite is Detroit was off for 11 days before that. And just like talking with the guys at the training center, they're like, no, I don't, especially when you're rolling. When you are rolling, you know, all you want to do is play.
And you look at Detroit, I tell you, I really liked what I saw from them. After that first goal, when they settled into their game, the ability to find the target and then the runs off the target were dynamic. It's just, Indy just kept pushing them down to the mat and wouldn't let them get back up.
What have you seen in this run right now from the men's side that has switched things up and made it so successful at the moment?
Well, when you're scoring goals, it takes pressure off of everybody. So body language is a big thing. And when you're watching the team right now, the body language says we're having fun. It just looks fun right now.
We'll walk you through some stats from the first half. 15 for Indy 11, just 1 for St. Charles. There were 5 corners for the girls in blue, none for the visitors. 2 offside, both came early for Indy 11. The important number right now is 6 goals to 0 goals.
Well, here's the interesting thing as a coach. You know, if you're in the game long enough, you're going to have games where you're on either side of this. And so the important thing right now is not just to coach in this moment. You know, for Indy, you likely have this in hand. And if you look at St. Charles, this is likely a game that's going to escape you. And if you just coach in this moment, you're going to lose some of those things that are going to build for this team later on. So if you're St. Charles, you can't be in this mindset of, hey, good job. You're coaching for that next one. You're trying to build a championship mentality. You're trying to build confidence in your players. And so as a coach, even though you're down right now, is you have to figure out ways to send messages of hope through the team. And then if you're Indy, it's the same thing. You can't be saying, okay, well, that's good enough. Let's ease off a little bit. You have to still drill into what you want to do as a team, how you want the runs, where you want the angles of pressure. You have to still pound in the attention to detail right now.
A couple of subs at halftime. There's 2 of them for St. Charles. Addison Miller will come in and play goal in the second half. She was the keeper for St. Charles when they beat Indy 2-1 last year. And at left back, Watson will exit and Haley Ezel will enter. On the Indy 11 side of things, I believe just 1 change for the girls in blue. Olivia Smith has made her way into midfield, and there is no longer the captain's armband on Ella Rogers' arm as she will exit. And it looks looks like the player on the ball right now, Grace Barr, has taken over the captain's duties. So I'm sure Paul Dolinsky will like the fact that he can rest his captain in Ella Rogers this week. Lauren Adam is onto the pitch as well. So actually a couple subs, it looks like. I think Lauren Adam at left back, Brooke Otto at right back. Sexton and Chatterton will sit in the second half. So not only Ella Rogers' legs are getting rested, but the fullback's legs as well.
And part of that, 2 games within what's 48? What's 4 days? 96 hours? 72 hours? Do the math.
Yeah, 96.
Okay, 96 hours.
Yep.
And those were tough minutes on Monday night. I mean, it was a back and forth match.
Yeah. And subs have made impacts already in Indy season, especially in Louisville, and then against Kings Hammer as well. They're coming forward quickly.
Great ball.
Ball outside to Dewey. Hammered across, cut out by the center back. Still inside the 18 though. Otto steps on this one. And a nice ball is played forward to Houston. It'll be a St. Charles throw-in, and they can breathe a little bit here early. Get out of their own defensive third.
Now, if they've got the ability to switch the ball here and find this other side, there's some space. They've got some bodies.
Here's Grace Barr. Olivia Smith
good turn,
coming deep to get onto it. Now Lauren Adam. Lauren Adam of Purdue just finished her freshman season there. One of a few players from the Big Ten. Olivia Smith is one as well, who plays her college ball in the state at IU. That's a great ball through to Soderstrom on her left foot. That one, a rare one tonight, actually, that doesn't find its way into the back of the net for the former Butler Bulldog.
My goodness, pulled that ball back and just dropped it into a space with very little margin of error.
Miller plays short. St. Charles still trying to stick to things and play out of the back and just develop that tactic, develop that skill. Chester's ball in, headed away. Derry with a lot of time. Smith. Dewey. It's not a very good clearance from St. Charles, right back into their own 18. Still not away very far. Smith down to Adam. Barr into the feet of Williams. Soderstrom trying to just play that little flicked ball over the top to Williams. Smith wins it back for Indy. Yeah, you could see the idea. Being fought for down in that corner. Indy trying to pin it in off of Soderstrom's shoulder, I believe, out for a goal kick. The referee will go over there. Out for a head, that's what it is. So the ref's just making sure that Soderstrom is all right to continue playing. This portion of the match brought to you by Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. Miller to Barcom.
Good find.
Through the midfield, battled for. Really nice battle between Jackson and Smith there. They like to go back to the keeper. Nice spell of possession here for St. Charles. I think we can appreciate how they're trying to stick to their principles here, Brad, and work on this, especially against a good team.
And you look at the patience they've shown, and what this does is it takes so much more energy to defend than it does to attack. So if you can hold that ball just for a little bit and take some of the air out of the fact that you've had to defend now for 50 minutes, that helps. It helps everybody catch a breath.
I believe this is the first goal kick tonight for Ashton Blair. Want to tell you about our partners at Renaissance Indianapolis North. You can treat yourself to an elegant stay at the Renaissance, just minutes away from both Grand Park and downtown Carmel. A great spot if you're looking to stay on the north side of Indy for any reason. And that could very well be to come to an Indy 11 women's game. Here's Barr. Again, this St. Charles line has come up higher and higher as the game has gone on, and they haven't sat as deep. But here's a line-breaking pass. Now it's Dewey. Maddie Williams looking to get there before Miller, but Miller does really well all the way out to the edge of her box.
Yeah, great read from Miller. If she stays in her line or stays in the 6, Maddie Williams has another one. Here's something I appreciate about Grace Barr's game is when you look at how she distributes the ball, she not only hits it with the correct weight, but also puts it in the correct space. Yep. If there's a space in front of one of the players and she's got the ability to play her in, she'll let her run into that space and run onto the ball. If there's a defender up, she plays it to feet and lets her know with that, hey, you can turn this way because I'm putting it to your right foot. You can turn that way because I'm putting it to your left foot. Very high level passing.
Loves a diagonal, Grace Barr. Here's a chance for St. Charles. Houston on her way through. Grace Barr is another one of those players that spent playing time at Xavier. She spent time at Wisconsin as well, was a teammate of Rose Lavelle, one of the larger names of the U.S. women's national team. Martin breaks the lines to Dewey. Now Otto. That one looking for the pace of Addie Chester. If anyone can keep it in, it's her, and she does. But it's St. Charles who comes away with it.
Amazing. It looked like 2 or 3 times she was pulling off that ball, like she wasn't going to be able to get it.
Chester not only has played some college ball in Louisville, and again has now transferred back to Ball State, but had a great high school career, still holds the state record for goals in a season. And she did it at Delta High School. She scored 59 goals in her junior season, 59 assists that year as well. Clever. 201 over her 4 years. St. Charles with a shot from distance. That is easily collected by Blair, the shot from Hollingshead.
Yeah, one of my former assistants was the associate head coach at Louisville. Had a chance to work with Addie for a number of years and said you would love to coach her. It is just an absolute joy, not just hardworking, great attitude, great talent. You love to hear that. Especially when you got a talented player. You hate it when you hear, oh, locker room cancer, or tough to be around.
Grace Barr looking for the through ball to Katie Soderstrom. She gets there before Miller. Miller's on the ground, but Katie is near the end line. The cross comes in, and Maddie Williams is there to finish it off.
Just a slight bit of hesitation from Miller. Had she not stopped and stutter stepped, she's going to be able to get to that ball and contest it initially. But boy, I tell you what, if you take the goalkeeper out of the net and you've got Soderstrom and Williams coming in, that's not a good sign.
That is not an easy ball back across. A striker you think might go for goal there, and she just picks out Maddie Williams at the back post, and she is there at a perfect time. A 7th goal for the girls in blue, a 2nd one on the night for Maddie Williams. It is again brought to you by CareSource, so much more than just health insurance. So Soderstrom went back-to-back in the first half. Maddie Williams goes back-to-back in the first and second, and here come Indy once more. Sam Dewey. And that's really good defensive work there from Bichelle to get back and put Sam Dewey off.
Exactly what we just talked about. A high back line from St. Charles, Dewey making a slashing run, and Grace Barr playing her into space so she doesn't have to break stride.
Williams almost had her hat trick. That one just goes past the post. Want to make sure we thank our partners at Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. The header flicked on by Brooke Otto.
Oh, clever ball. Outside of the right foot, just punching it into space.
Referee blows his whistle on that tackle from Aaliyah Martin. Leah Martin spent some time in NWSL and in NWSL camps before returning to Indy to work more of a 9-to-5. Spent time with Indy last year. Anyone who watched the final last year can't forget the goal she scored to win it in extra time. Cycling enthusiast Leah Martin.
Those were her first 2 goals, weren't they? Those 2 at the
I believe
the very
so.
end?
The one in the semi and then the one in the final. I'm sure it was cool for her, especially in the final too, with her high school coach on the call with Rake and Angela White of Brebeuf Jesuit. Here's Lauren Adam all the way down into the final third. Ref tells her to get up. Derry looks to go into the challenge, but swept by Imming on her way, and she'll switch things. But Otto is on the jump, gives it away with her tackle, though, and Lambert can come back forward.
Clever.
Otto trying to make up the ground.
Clever ball from Imming, just rolling past a couple defenders.
St. Charles win their first corner of the night. A chance to get on the scoreboard. They'll send their players forward and look to put it in the back of the net for the first time tonight. Again, it's Ashton Blair standing in goal in the yellow for Indy 11. Started both of the games previously this season. New to the girls in blue. Grace Barr at the front post puts it out for another corner.
It's not a bad serve, but I don't think that was where she intended to go because there were no runners heading to the front post.
Just the 5 players in the box for St. Charles. They'll do it once more. That is towards the front post again. Blair does well to come and punch. Who does it go off of last? They'll go out for a goal kick. But again, you see, even with some of these players into the 18, there's still a little trouble happening on set pieces defensively.
Right, and that was a heck of a strike. I mean, she pulled that out of the air, and she struck it well.
So Indy 11 will start from the back. This portion of the match is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Smith back to Derry. Derry has come deep for the ball and gotten on it in those deep spaces so much tonight. Here's Adam. Cut inside. Oh, Chester, that is cheeky. And I think that Imming was a little bit irritated with it. Goes in hard on the challenge. Here's Soderstrom on it. Chester with a lot of space out wide. The cutback, Lauren Adam on the overlap. Ball into the box is played towards the back post and off of the defender, out for a corner kick. It was Lambert who got there for St. Charles.
Love the little stutter step from Soderstrom on that ball into her, just to wrong foot the defender and open up the space for her to gain possession.
Last time Indy had a left-footed swinging corner kick, it found the head of Maddie Williams and subsequently the back of the net. No one short this time. Grace Barr looking to play it into the mixer. It's a bit deeper this time, but Maddie Williams still is the one that gets there. Goes at it with her left foot, and it curls just wide.
Clever little touch. That hung up there, in a way that's not typical. Grace usually serves it just a screaming line drive.
That's a wayward pass that finds the feet right away of Derry. Here's Smith. Does nicely to hang on to it there. Wide to Soderstrom. Closed down by 2. She'll look to use her pace to get to the byline. The cutback comes through and cut out before it got to any Indy 11 players. Another corner on that far side.
And you can see when Smith punched that ball out to Soderstrom, she received the ball with a pressing defender that had no cover behind her. She had the space, so she immediately looked to take her off the dribble.
Katie Soderstrom played in all 14 matches last year, 7 goals, 2 assists. Didn't exactly match the 11 she put up in her first season, but 18 goals over 2 seasons is really, really impressive. Bar to take once more. It's short to Adam with a touch inside the box. Back out now, Chester will serve. A weighted ball towards the back post. That goes in. Did she mean it? We'll let her decide.
Real.
Either way, it's in the net. That's a second on the night for Chester. That's a third on the season for Addie Chester. While that was probably a cross, I'm not sure you could have floated a ball better into the back post.
Well, if she didn't score it, you know, Indy had great spacing on that back post. The way it was floated up there and the lack of defenders on the back post, that was going to wind up being in the back of the net either way.
And that will trigger some subs for Indy 11. The goal scorer, Addie Chester, will go off. Sam Dewey will go off as well. You see Lauren Thompson and Emma Johnson, the 16-year-old Academy products, onto the field, as well as Natalie Mitchell on the left side of your picture there. She scored the first goal for Indy 11 the other night. Maddie Williams is the third player to depart in that sequence as well. 8-0 for Indy 11. That 8th goal presented to you by CareSource. So much more than just health insurance.
You want to see a true soccer fan here? After a Open Cup victory late last night, Augie Williams is over in the stands in an 8-0 game, and he's filming and taking pictures of players.
Well done, Augie. In that sequence of substitutions as well, Indy did change their goalkeeper. So Maren Weiger is onto the pitch. Ashton Blair will rest for the rest of the night. So that's every substitution used for the girls in blue. The players on the field will finish out the game. Coming forward here, and Weiger is right into action. Does well to come and claim that one.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Imming attacks a space and looks to see if she can't just slide a ball into space for Jackson.
There have been a lot of those nice line-breaking passes tonight from Indy 11. Lauren Thompson trying to use her pace to get onto it. For those hearing the name for the first time tonight, Lauren Thompson is an England Youth International, has played with them at the U17 level against the United States. Funnily enough, she came on as a sub when they played to a 5-4 game in one of the international windows in the last year or so. Here's Smith. No matter the player, Indy 11 fullbacks continue to streak up the field. Great service into Soderstrom. Here's a hit. Is that, it's just wide. Couldn't tell from this angle.
It's a great one-touch strike.
Brooke Otto came in on that with what I believe is her weaker left foot. You wouldn't be able to tell by the way she struck that ball, and for a second, I thought that was in. But it caught the football netting behind the goal. I think everyone has license to shoot at this point, Brad.
Good decision. All the passing lanes jammed up.
Here's Thompson.
Smith just steps on the ball, knocks it back to Grace Barr, take the pressure off.
Adam into the box. That's a really nice slide tackle put in there by Hollingshead, and she wins a goal kick as well. Alpha Health and Wellness is another one of Indy 11's wonderful partners. Official W League team chiropractor, Alpha Health and Wellness. Emma Johnson onto it. That's the academy name that I think more Indy 11 fans will be familiar with. Scored in Indy 11's first season when she was aged just 14. Came on as a sub in the W League final last year. If you needed any more, proof that she can do it in the big moments, Paul Dolinsky trusting her in the biggest of big games. And that's one that went to extra time as well. So she played a decent amount of minutes in that game against North Carolina Courage's U23 side.
What a ball.
Adam once more. Hollingshead doing well to track back, though. The last couple she's been able to cut out and do some really nice defensive work. This one will come as a throw-in to Grace Barr. She'll leave it for Lauren Edom. Again, Lauren plays her soccer at Purdue. Played in 13 games this past fall in her first year in West Lafayette. Nicely switched to Otto. Otto cutting in over the head of Mitchell, almost to Thompson. Smith comes in.
Trouble.
Lauren Thompson on the turn. That one might have been headed to the corner, but it was well cut out by the St. Charles defense. Here's Smith once more. She is fouled about 10, 15 yards outside of the box. Foul goes against Imming. This is the chance to put the ball in the box for Grace Barr. It'll be an outswinger on her left foot.
And you got that channel right behind the 12. Just bend it behind the back line right there.
That is a perfect service. Derry got her head to it, but couldn't quite direct it on target.
It's a ball just out of reach of the goalkeeper. If you bend it behind the back line, they're all backpedaling in with their motion going to goal. It's a great chance for a forward to make a cutting run in front of a defender and get a piece of the ball.
I want to thank our partners at AES, accelerating the future of energy together. Ball to the back line. Mitchell putting pressure on. Now Johnson putting pressure on. Cleaned up in the back by Barkham. Otto going forward with it once more. Here's Emma Johnson. Throwing even deeper into the final third. Soderstrom cuts to the end line. Cuts back once more. Trying to find Natalie Mitchell in the middle. Instead, it'll be a corner kick for the girls in blue. I believe that's Soderstrom down on the far side as well. Again, Indy have used all their substitutions so far tonight. This next portion of the match is brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. Two options short for Grace Barr. She will serve instead. Natalie Mitchell getting there with her head. It comes down to her feet instead, and Indy have a 9th of the night.
Boy, when things fall your way, they fall your way. That was a great serve in. Didn't look like an intentional touch, but it falls right to the feet of a player.
I think Derry's just happy that it ended up in a goal.
Yeah.
Mitchell got the first on Monday. She has the 9th goal tonight. Again, brought to you by CareSource, so much more than health insurance. We've had a lot of goals to celebrate in general this week, Brad. There's been a lot scored in the women's game on Monday and the few men's games. 5 in the first men's game, 6 in the first women's game, 3 last night.
11, 14.
9 tonight.
23.
It could be more. Mitchell is offside.
23 goals in a week with 1 game to go.
And yep, it's 20 minutes here as well. Natalie Mitchell is one of 2 players on the roster, not the 18 tonight, but the roster that play their soccer at Virginia Tech. The other is Emma Pelkowski.
What a step.
Here comes Johnson.
My goodness.
Johnson's got to go herself, I think. Ran into maybe one too many defenders, but Thompson has it now. The cut back to Johnson. She might have another chance at it. Now to Thompson once more.
Wow.
Thompson's wide and she's onside. The 1-2 with Johnson. The two Academy products linking up.
That's just great combination in tight spaces.
Smith will play it wide to Otto. Otto with the attempted early service. Mitchell will let it trickle out for a corner kick. Indy 11 going for double digits here. They did it last year against St. Charles when they ended up with 16 in one game. If there's anything that I know about Paul Dolinsky, it's the brakes will be pressed down until the final whistle goes. Not the brakes, the accelerator. What am I saying?
We knew what you meant.
Yeah, you knew it. Here's Emma Johnson looking for a goal of her own. And that's a nice save from Miller in net. Yeah, if the brakes are, the car can't go if the brakes are pressed down.
And it's exactly what you talk about, still sprinting hard to the ball, still looking at coming and pressing at the correct angles.
Mitchell. Derry's thinking about it herself. Blocked by the second defender, it went by. Back to Bart. Smith comes short for it. Otto has played her first 2 years of collegiate soccer at Ohio State, but transferring to Kansas in the offseason. From a Buckeye to a Jayhawk. Two schools that are involved in some of the better rivalries in college sports.
Oh, my goodness.
What a find that is from Grace Bart. Johnson's on it, going for it herself. She's tried a couple times tonight. The Academy product hasn't found her way through quite yet.
She's got such quick feet.
Derry with a great ball into Mitchell. Soderstrom brings it down, and almost an impossible angle. And I think it was just impossible enough that she couldn't get there. She is saying that the keeper got a hand to it, so that might have even been on frame.
That's the great thing about natural goal scorers and finishers like Katie Soderstrom is they never feel like they're in a position where they can't score, willing to pull the trigger at any point. And you often can get a goalkeeper or a defender cheating because they're looking at that play and they're saying, you're not shooting from there. That's not an angle. That's not the right moment.
We've told you about our partners at CareSource a lot tonight, and we will once more, so much more than just health insurance. Trying to get through on goal once more. What a smart move it was, by the way, for someone to sponsor Indy 11 Goals.
They are
That's an all-time choice.
They are definitely getting their money's worth.
Here's Miller on it. She's looking to go a bit long. Adams steps to Hollingshead.
Yeah, Hollingshead's had a solid game.
She has. She's been up and down this wing as well. Anytime they're trying to get forward, she is slinging forward, and she's also doing defensive work as well. Otto back to Martin.
Good turn.
Mitchell turns inside, looking for the pass to Thompson. Derry makes her way through. She's looking for one tonight.
Yeah, it got kind of congested in there.
Did really well to make her way through on the dribble. Just can't find the shot tonight. This could be close. Miller does well to get there before Soderstrom, but just out for a throw-in, and it's gonna be a throw-in in the final third for the girls in blue. Here's Smith. Adam with the one-touch ball into Johnson.
Well, my goodness.
Miller, that's certainly a choice. She's lucky it doesn't come back to bite her, but going on a little bit of a run herself. And with Natalie Mitchell bearing down on her as well.
It's 3 seconds of really intense emotion because when you give that ball up, you have this unbelievable sinking feeling of what just happened. And then when you turn and you see the ball go wide, you've got this elate. I mean, it's this massive roller coaster.
Next portion of the match is brought to you by AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together. A foray into the box very briefly for St. Charles as Houston was after it. Now Adam. Johnson, nice turn.
Oh, that's incredible.
Once more, Johnson and Thompson.
If you watch how this whole play developed, a little misdirection from Johnson. She steps towards the ball, lets it run across her body, turns, and then flicks it with the outside of her foot into space.
Thompson wins the free kick in the corner. This will probably play relatively similar to a corner kick. Grace Barr will go up to take it, and I think she said, Lauren, you can go ahead and take it. I've had enough tonight. Not had enough, I've taken enough. So it's the England Youth International. Lauren Thompson standing over it with just about 10 minutes to play. It's floated towards the back post. The header is there. It's on frame from Johnson. They have a very uncanny knack of being able to find each other. I'm sure all those hours they've spent on the training pitch together and on the field together, playing together in games as well.
It does. It adds up.
Hollingshead went down after that. You can see her just in the bottom of her picture, I think, grabbing at her lower back. Maybe the way she fell or if there was a collision in there. Hope she's all right. The referee will start dropping the ball to Grace Barr.
She's tough. It's interesting. You can tell players' personalities by the way that they play, and the fact that she's willing to get forward and you know, do the work to try and hold the ball, and then do what she's doing right now is this unbelievable pace in tracking back.
Katie Soderstrom almost had her hat trick there. 9 goals, and no one has more than 2 on the night. Soderstrom had 2 in the first half. Maddie Williams had 1 on either side of the break. Seven different goal scorers tonight. No, sorry, 6. Addie Chester has 2 as well. Derry wins the header. Johnson tried to bring it down off her knee. Forward goes Lammert, but Otto very calmly back to her keeper. Thompson was towing the line there, and I do think she was just offside. She tried to make that run where she cut the line pretty parallel and then peel off, but I think the ball came maybe just a second late.
Yeah, and that's you don't see enough of that from forwards, that flat line across the back line and then just peeling in at the right moment. Most of them, standing there just waiting for that ball over the top and playing this north-south game. Love when you can mix up the east-west with the north-south on the run. Just complicates things for defenders.
I'm sure they want that 10th. Thought that might have stayed in bounds. We had a pretty good angle from it, from our camera here at midfield.
Brilliant switch of the field. It's a great ball back to your center back, great first touch, and then a brilliant ball down the flank.
And a shot on target is what it ends with. Flick on header one in the midfield. Referee will pull it back for a foul after. Jackson took the tumble, I think, from Derry.
Good turn.
Chance for a shot here from St. Charles, but Jackson just couldn't make the contact she needed on that. They've still got 7 minutes plus added time to see out this clean sheet, Indy. Even in the first game of the season against Louisville, they didn't give too many chances up until they gave a goal up late on. And I think that a clean sheet, the first one of the season, will make them at least satisfied with everything tonight.
Well, it helps. You give up 3 on Monday night, and that just gets you upset.
Right now, they're looking to add a 10th goal of the evening. That ball was just out of bounds. So they'll have a throw in the final third.
My goodness, what a great ball.
Otto onto it at the back post. She'll
There it
clip
is.
it towards the back. Katie Soderstrom has a hat trick.
Ridiculous.
The 10th goal of the night for Indy, the 3rd goal of the night for Katie Soderstrom. And man, is her campaign open in this USL W League season.
This is just brilliant goal scorer. She just knows where to be, hanging out by the back post, just sort of drifts away. Defenders are watching the ball on the front side. Give her that space and one touch in the back of the net.
10th goal of the night, presented by CareSource. So much more than just health insurance. Indy continue to put on the pressure. Here's Hollingshead trying to play out of it. Gets Pied Johnson. All the way back to Miller. The last 5 minutes of tonight are brought to you by Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. St. Charles trying to work it down the left-hand side.
Oh, good touch.
That's really nice from Jackson. She's been probably, her and Hollingshead, probably the 2 brightest spots for St. Charles tonight. Indy will come forward again. Mitchell is onside, and she's one-on-one with the keeper. Miller gets a foot to it and keeps out the 11th goal of the night.
It's a great save. It's a great save. All you can do in that moment is throw your foot out there, make a kick save, and sometimes if your ankle isn't locked, your foot absorbs all the energy of the ball.
And I think that's what's happened here. Yeah, we hope Addison Miller will be okay. She's being tended to by Sierra Garber, Indy 11 trainer. I'm unsure of what will happen if Miller can't go, because she did come in as a sub at halftime. Regardless, we hope she's okay.
There you go. Good to see that.
Up onto her feet. You can see how it just came off her foot there.
I think that's just a Johnson control slide. We can do that if you want.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, once we get going.
Copy.
She's in pain. She's going to fight through it.
And we'll get going once more with 2 minutes left to play of regular time tonight. I don't think there will be too much added time, with the score being what it is. Otto looking to go for a long diagonal. He'll go out for a goal kick. I want to thank one more time our partners at Johnson Controls. They are the power behind your mission, smart building partner of Indy 11. And Miller's going to leave the goal kick for Malcolm to take it.
Get off the field. With the restart and everything. With the restart.
Azell will cut inside, loses the ball to Thompson. Gets it back though, trying to work through the challenge of Adam. Great challenge and great battle between them here on the near side touchline. Thompson comes away with it. Johnson. Mitchell. That header could fall anywhere. Johnson's onto it with her left foot, blocked by Miller. And that is a nice little dummy by Jackson inside. St. Charles kind of have numbers here. It's 5-on-5. Great turn from Jackson. Lammert is running down the left flank. Can they grab one before the 90th minute? Lammert's ball into the box is not deflected. It'll be a goal kick.
It's well defended. Just gave no angle to get that serve across.
I love seeing Jackson just still being free with her play and still trying things like that turn that was well executed.
Good ball. Leads her into space.
As we hit the 90th minute, the fourth official gives us the signal of 2 minutes of added time here. 2 minutes for the girls in blue to get fully on brand with their goal tally. Mitchell is in, Mitchell is offside.
And these last two plays by Miller, impressive when you're coming off of an injury that looked, obviously causing her a lot of pain. To come out on the 50-50 ball with Johnson and then to come out for this ball against Mitchell, a lot of courage.
Indy 11 rolled out their, I think you could call it the A team tonight. All of the players that have the most experience in the game, in this league. We're in the 18, we're in the starting 11 tonight, and the response was swift and strong. It was 6 at halftime. They've added 4 more in this second half for a double-digit lead against St. Charles. This is the next team they'll see as well. Indy heads to St. Charles on May 29 next Wednesday. Thompson is in, trying her own luck. Miller the save. Johnson working to get it back. Katie Soderstrom, will she add a 4th? That one goes wide, and it'll be a goal kick. Most impressive thing tonight was what, Brad?
The response. You know, you're wondering as you come into it, because it's so difficult to defend a title that, you know, in the offseason, how disappointing it was the year before the championship, that you know in the offseason everybody's going to be motivated and be grinding and coming back for to take care of that unfinished business. But once you win that championship, now is that motivation still there? And so, you know, with the result against Kings Hammer, 3-3, not bad. You're still pulling a point, but does it bring that passion, that fire back? And clearly we saw it tonight.
The loss to St. Charles really sparked things last year
Right.
for the Indy 11. Again, this is the 3rd game of this season. There's 10 regular season games. By no means are we in a home stretch. Or will anyone really remember that Kings Hammer game once we get to the 9th or 10th game of the season, unless it comes into a scenario of deciding who gets to the postseason.
Paulie and BK will remember it.
Yeah, yes they will.
And may reference it at a later point in the season as well.
Yeah, there's the full-time whistle. It's 10 for Indy 11. They beat St. Charles by double digits here on this Thursday night at Grant Park. Brad, your final thoughts on what was?
Well, if you're St. Charles, you're disappointed because the game plan that you came in with didn't last but, 15 minutes, and then you had to change things up. If you're Indy, you're happy. You're happy with the response. You're happy that you had multiple players score. So now you've got that balance. You've got confidence across the board. So you're right where you need to be as you head into next week.
A hat trick from Katie Soderstrom with 2 in the first half, and the last of the 10 goals. 2 goals each from Addie Chester and Maddie Williams, and a goal apiece for Sam Dewey, Ella Rogers, and Natalie Mitchell tonight. A 10-0 win for the girls in blue. They'll have 6 days off before they travel and play the reverse fixture of this one. This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League. We will leave you tonight with the sights and sounds of the 10 goals from Indy 11. For everyone on cameras, in the truck, and my broadcast partner, Brad Hodder, I've been Ian Gilmore. Thanks for spending your Thursday night with us, and we'll see you next time.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son. And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half-hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
We helped Becky with her resume, arranged daycare for her son, and even set up a ride to the interview that helped her get the job. CareSource is so much more than health insurance.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money, from rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now